So welcome to a brand new year of Sampler. So just to let you know, the first kit purchased is $25 registration. You can pick up your January block starting this Friday, and what you need to do is bring that kit home and sew the kit into a 12-inch square that I have behind me, and bring it in. Bring January's block in by February 29th to get the February kit free. So every month you bring in your block, you get the next block free. So if you missed the cutoff date, the due date, or you didn't have it finished, you just pay $10 for the next kit, and then you'll be back into the scheme of things. All right. See your instructions for the January block for all those important due dates. Very important. Mark your calendars now until the end of the year. Okay. We have some great trade-in deals going on. A email is in the works, should be out in a day or so. If you were in the market for a used machine, check out the listing. There might be something there that you would like. Also, we have a quilt class coming up in February. It is the Easy Layer Cake. Come in, take a look at the quilt. It uses 10-inch layer cakes. It's a great quilt, and you can sign up for that. That's in February. So, new for Sampler this year is that there will be no border instructions. Okay? There will be a finishing kit for $50 to set your 12-inch blocks on point. Kits are limited, so don't wait. It's the best it's the best thing I can tell you is please don't wait to get your finishing kit. If you don't want to do the finishing kit, that's fine. You still have a 12-inch block. You can put sashing in. You can do a previous year's borders. You can come up with your own borders. Figure out how much fabric you need, and then come on in and we'll cut it for you. Okay? So let's go over the new line for the 2024 Sampler Intermediate block. We are using 9 fabrics this year for intermediate. They are Free Spirit fabrics called Heat Wave. We do have 4 that are blenders. These are from Robert Kaufman. Okay, so a couple blenders and a couple from the Heat Wave line. All right, this is our block for January. This is what I will go over the cutting instructions with you, and what it is I have 2 different 4 patches. I have just your simple 4 patches that finish at 1.5 inch, so we're going to be cutting these strips at 2. We have a 4 patch that has a 1.5 inch finished half square triangle and 2 squares as well, and we also have the larger finished 3-inch half square triangle. So these 3-inch finished and these 1.5 inch finished, we're going to be using our Creative Grids folded corner clipper to do our half square triangles. Everything else are just squares, very simple, and half squares. So very easy block this month. It is a 4x4 16 patch, and you will just come in with your finished 12-inch block for January. So the setting kit is going to look similar to this. The only difference with the setting kit, so here's January's 12-inch block, February's, March's. There are 12, but there is a 13th block that I do want to explain. With the setting kit, you will be getting the side setting triangles to cut, the fabric, of course, for the corners, the fabric for the sashings, the cornerstones, and this one 2-inch border going around it. Okay, you will also be getting all the applique pieces that you will need to make this bonus 13th block. Like I said, the kit is $50. Again, it comes with the sashing, all the white that you're going to need, the yellow cornerstones, and of course all your little applique pieces. What is not included in this is obviously backing for the whole entire quilt. Binding is not included. Steam a seam to do your applique is not included, or the tear easy for the back when you are doing your applique. Now note, you can't finish this until you have all 12 blocks. So you probably won't even get to it until November or December. But get your setting kit as soon as you know you want it, okay? Because they are limited. All right. There's not really, and let me just really quick, I'll show you. This is kind of what it looks like on point. I just wanted to show you. Do you see the full cornerstones on the edges of these? How they come down to a very full square on each of them. This is only 5 12-inch blocks from last year's basic, but it's the same size as far as the setting triangles, the corner triangles, everything. Same sashing. But do you notice that the cornerstones come to a full cornerstone to the edge? Unfortunately, the picture is only showing half cornerstones here, so don't get confused. Just letting you know. And I can talk to you more about that if you have questions. All right, so the January kit, super easy cutting. The only one that I really want to go over is the white. In the long rectangle that you're given, the first thing you want to do is take a nice long strip at 3.5 inches. That's for our folded corner clipper when we're doing our finished 3-inch half square triangles. From the remainder, you want to go ahead and take those 2 3.5-inch squares. Those are going to be our corner squares in our block that are just plain old cut 3.5. And the remaining rectangle, what you're going to need is 2 strips at 2 inches. Those are going to be paired up with the, what I call the multi-black circle to make this 4-patch. We're going to make 2 strip sets. They're the same thing. We're going to get 4. We're going to get 4 patches from each strip set. Okay, so a total of 8. The rest, super simple. Coral it kind of looks orange. You might think it's orange, but it's really coral. So the whole year we're just going to call it coral. It's a 3.5-inch strip, folded corner clipper. The pink, you need 4 2-inch squares. The peach, 2-inch. Again, the folded corner clipper is what we're going to be using for that strip. The multi-white circle, which is different. This one here is called our multi with the white background, and then this one has the black. So two different prints in that one. And then the last one is our deep red that we're using in the sashing. We're also using it in our 13th bonus block, and that is 2 inches, and again, folded corner clipper. So as you can see, the folded corner clippers are these half square triangles. So peach and deep red for the small one, and then white and coral for the large one. So let's do a folded corner clipper, and pretty much everything else is cut already for me. I have my 2 inches. These are for the 4 patches, the white 4 patches. These are just plain squares that go into the second 4 patch we're going to do. And we have, again, our folded corner clipper for our small half square triangles. So you're given a very large piece of white. I just want to make sure everybody understands. The first thing that we're going to do is cut a 3.5-inch strip. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold this in half. I'm going to place my ruler any one of these straight lines right on the fold to give myself a nice 90-degree cut. So this is straight all the way down. I'm just going to give it a little trim. Okay, I'm going to flip it around, and this gets cut 3.5 first. So here's my half, 1, 2, 3, and I go ahead and line it right up with that nice solid line on my Creative Grid ruler at 3.5. And here's my first strip, and this is going to get paired with the coral. Okay, the other, and then we're going to open it up. We're going to cut two 3.5-inch squares. So the first one, I'm just going to make a nice straight line on the end just to clean that up. Measure over 3.5. Measure over 3.5. So everybody's on board. And again, we're going to square this up to a square. So I just put the nice lines that I just cut on my ruler so I know it's parallel. Cut my first side, flip it around, and make my square. Pretty much all year long, I will show you how to, again and again, how to start with a nice clean edge, measure over using your rotary cutter and the rulers. You'll notice that I don't use the lines on the mat. They're a little distracting when I'm trying to use the lines on the ruler. So keep that in mind. If you are having trouble with the cutting and things don't seem to be cut quite accurately, please do use rulers, okay? And one more, 3.5. All right, the remainder is going to be cut into two 2-inch strips for my 4-patch. They're going to be matched up with my multi-black. So again, clean up an edge. Now I have a nice straight edge, measure over 2 inches. I flip my ruler around because this has the solid inches. This one starts with a half, and because I need a solid 2 measurement, I'm going to use it with the whole inch side. Okay, that's going to be matched up with that, so I'll put it with it. And one more strip. And there we go. And that, again, is going to be measured up with that one. All right, let's do some folded corner clippers. So I have the 3-inch finished, and I also have a 1.5-inch finished. They're pretty much done the exact same way. When we're doing the 3.5-inch finished, we only need 6 units of the coral and the white. When we're doing the 1.5-inch finished half square triangles, we're going to need 8. 4 on this side and 4 on that side. So we're going to cut 6 of these and 8 of those. So make sure your white is facing right sides together. When I did my practice one, I had the white upside down. No, I think I had the peach upside down. Not good. So the rule about using the folded corner clipper is you're looking for that 3.5-inch mark along the bottom of your strip. Okay, the blunt side goes right along the top of the strip. So when it comes time for this, these are 2-inch, I'll be finding these at the 2-inch mark. Same thing, okay? So we'll go back to here. Sorry, Heidi. We're going to do, the first one is a clean edge right here. So go ahead and take your ruler and give yourself a nice straight edge to start with. Oops. There we go. And the very first cut is along that angle. Okay, so I put a little pressure on it. It does have the grips on it along the 1/4-inch marks along the outside of the ruler, and also the dots on the inside, and here 3 dots. So we're just going to rotate that 180 degrees, and we're going to make another set. Again, lining up that angle, lining up my 3.5 and the blunt. Now it's at the bottom of my strip. Go ahead and cut a second unit. So we're just going to keep doing that until we get 6. All right. When we sew, we're going to sew from this 90-degree corner right here, straight down 1/4 of an inch to that side. And again, start at the 90-degree corner and come straight down at 1/4 of an inch. They will be a 3.5 unfinished or 3-inch finish when it's in your block. Okay, real quick, I'll do one here, right sides together, peach and deep red. We're going to line up my 2 on this one, and again, I'll just go ahead and clean up my edge and do the first cut. Okay, these are a little bit smaller. Take your time. Sewing the exact same way. Look for the 90-degree corner. Start at that point and 1/4 of an inch all the way down. Rotate your ruler, and again, you're going to cut 8 of these units. I'm putting it right back where it belongs. Blunt side, 2-inch side. Cut, 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 cut till you get 8. Make sure these are right on top of each other. All right, once you sew these together, you're going to press them toward the darker color. So in this case, we're looking at the deep red, half square triangles. All right, come back up here. So our first 4 patch uses the pink squares and the multi-white circles along with the 2 half square triangles. So this 4 patch, you're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. The other 4 patch is your simple 4 patch that you're putting your little 2-inch strips together with the multi-black circle and the white. Press toward the multi-black circle, and then you're going to cut those in 2-inch segments. Twist your pieces around so that the corners, the seam allowances lock, and then we'll just make our 4 patch. So hopefully this is intermediate. You guys got 4 patches. I think you're all set on this block. Again, I hope you join us for 2024 Intermediate Sampler, and it starts this Friday. So we'll see you soon, and thanks for watching.